And life. Good. This will be random, I guess. Starting stream. I don't know what to call this, but I have around an hour that I will spend this live. I think the last one was a week ago, too. Stream 34th. Quite many already. I think that should be over 70 hours, 70, 80 hours. So this stream will be random yapping probably, but then doing some habit tasks, which I already wrote somewhere. Notion. Is this app? Inkscape. But I'll also have them here. Is this? Here, yes. But first, I think just general yap. Let me change the category to random, life, work, business, entertainment. Random. Okay. And the stream should be fine. I hope the microphone doesn't drop the connection. Happened already, or again, like last time, but it seems to be holding. Okay. First, I will go and see when was the last video, because I already forgot to have some interesting videos here. Not really. So when was this? 5 days ago. Okay. So that was on Saturday. Yes, I think it was Saturday evening. On Sunday I didn't do much. Right. Continuing building my life. I'm just gonna quickly check. What did I do? I talked about that. Okay. I remember that it was more than 5 days ago, but clearly not. Yes, and then I yapped about Helper of Humanity. Sure. I cleaned my algorithms a little bit, more yap, and then changed the tasks. Okay, I think I got the idea. So I will will talk about the current situation quickly. So last time I talked about Helper of Humanity and what had happened during the Christmas holidays, during the 3 weeks that I hadn't done stream. I was trying to discover whether I can create my own meaning, because ultimately there isn't any meaning in universe. So what should I do then? That's what I talked about. And my meaning is the Helper of Humanity. Life work, which means I want to help humanity to live happier with fewer wars, better democracies, just people smiling more. That's my meaning. And is it logical? It is logical because it's based on my philosophy, life's philosophy, which is to listen. Maybe I can quickly, I can visualize it, but I can write it. So no meaning. This is where people often go, discover that there is no meaning. If you don't believe in God, then there's no meaning. What to do with this? This creates depression for many. But for me, it has never really created depression, because I haven't been scared to die. So what is death? Death is just nothing. After you die, there is nothing, at least in my belief, because there isn't any God. There's nothing after death. And people are scared of this, scared of death. But if you can handle death, then these two create a kind of nice pair, at least I think that way. What is this line? What? Well, that how I think of this life is I will die at some point. I don't mind at all. When I go to sleep, I don't know if I wake up. Death is similar. Of course, I could be tortured to death, but I would die in the end. I don't care that much how I go. But realizing what death is, and then having this problem, no one is telling me what to do. Then what? Where to look at? this is really the answer, that am I giving here bad advice? No. How I think of this is, because nothing else gives meaning, or nothing gives real meaning, then the only certainty is death. But there is no rush to die. Why would you want to die? For some, the life is too painful, and that's very sad that people are in that position, or they don't have good guardrails, communities to help them. But in my case, my life is too easy. So this will never be an option, or I don't want to die. It's boring, and there is nothing bad in my life. So why wouldn't I live a bit longer? So suddenly there is no meaning, and you realize that the death is only certainty, but you don't want to die. Why? Why is that? It's because of feelings. For normal people, it's natural to not want to die. The natural sense, urge to survive is very, very strong, because otherwise humanity would have died or going extinct a long time ago. So wanting to survive, I could put it here. But does this fix this no meaning issue? Well, for now it fixed it. There was no meaning, okay, so what to do? The only certainty is death, but I don't want to die. So you end up here, that okay, I will survive. But what is this part of? It's part of, it's just one feeling that there is, how would I explain this? It's one feeling, it's very strong, but it gives purpose, meaning to survive. So if you can accept this, and right now I can't think of any other better solution to this. This is how I get motivation to live, and I have built my purpose, is that it's okay to not have greater meaning. And that's actually, I think, a good question, why there is a need for a greater meaning. How large is this font size? So why is this a problem? What's so difficult about this idea? There is no meaning, no one is telling. I think the problem is that people are just terrified of change. They are here, they have been here, and then because humans are connected to so many different things, to their environment, their habits, and this is their, go to capitalize that, God. And that was quite poorly made. It's worse. What? No, this needs to go. Terrible. Okay, 7. Let's do different color. Okay, that is their God. Now what happens is when people come to this conclusion, it breaks their idea of God. And because they have based this, their motivation, their meaning on this, on God, that's a problem, because it changes. And of course I would, this happens. And why this is terrifying for many is not because there isn't any meaning, but rather a combination of different feelings. One feeling might be that the brain doesn't want to create new connections from all this. It's too difficult. It's like seeing a mountain of work. Do I have motivation to start doing it? No. So it tries to avoid it at all cost. And also it might start to give arguments that it's not possible. It feels impossible to change all this at once. And it's confused. But maybe that wasn't the best example. But the idea, how I think, is that the problem is not here, really. It's just that people are scared, or their brain avoids change. Creating new connections is super difficult, even one at a time. But this is such fundamental change that it will create too much pressure. And because this isn't an answer, realizing this, people try to find meaning. They try to fight this because this is unclear, at least. yeah, I don't know what is the best kind of cure for this, or what's the advice from Western society for this. But I don't think this is a problem, but rather being able to handle everything else in life. If someone's life is not going well, then this they are not ready for this, because it puts pressure on all this. So if someone avoids this, what could it be? Okay, I don't think that's important, but if they avoid some things about themselves, some reality, then this might put more pressure on it. So I think that's the reason why some people can't take it, that at the time when this happens, this transition, they have too many unanswered questions, too many traumas. But this is a route that I took, and this leads to realizing that wanting to survive is only one feeling. What other feelings I have? What if I listen to only this while I wait for my death? And I'm not sure how good life philosophy this could be for others. For me, I do think this quite often lately, how I enjoy this life. That is this depressing, kind of just waiting for my death, but while I wait, I do things that feel good. But that's pretty much what I do. And it doesn't mean that I would seem depressed. No, I can't be depressed because it's so boring. But that's the root for this, that I feel when I have analyzed my feelings, I have figured out that I like to help people. I like to see people happy, and so I like to help them. Or actually, I don't have any other choice. Nothing else interests me. So it's not that I have strong urge for that, but rather I have nothing else. So that's why I have chosen this. And it's completely selfish. I'm doing it for my own reasons, for the inner feelings. But yes, this is kind of how I think. Why did I talk about that? Oh yeah, creating my meaning. So I have created my meaning based on those feelings and the fact that I don't have options. If I had options, then I would be able to choose between them. Not being able to choose signals fear or avoidance for some hard topic. Maybe it's about weight, losing weight, or someone doesn't want to admit that they are not physically that attractive or smart or lucky, I don't know, but some reality they are not ready to face. Could have been a bit larger, otherwise I don't find it again. But yes, so I have been creating my meaning, and I can try to visualize this as well. Should I? Was there a way to connect shapes? If I have two squares, can I connect them here? No, this rotates. It doesn't have. No. No, I can't connect this. What app was it? Miro, I think it was. Would be good to be able to connect, but okay. I will draw this then. Let's say there is a pot, some plant here. This grows, but there was this sort of situation where it doesn't have light anywhere else than from here. This is the sun, and it radiates light. What is the status of this plant? I could make this green. No. Let's make it green. Okay, nice. So, is this good life? Some people live like this. Are they happy? Is life easy? No, it's not easy. They need to rely on the reflections to grow, to get sunlight. Maybe the sun might go like this, and it kind of reaches here. But what do plants do in this situation? Well, they naturally try to grow here. So when this plant grows, it grows like this. This is how nature works. And now it receives sunlight. And how it works is, of course, the whole plant will kind of use this. This is the case for humans as well, that some people end up at this situation, or even worse. And what's the situation, or what's the problem in today's world is people have screens. They have many options to avoid reality. This is reality. But instead they imagine a world where they would be they would be living in perfect condition. This is what most people do, or too many people. I don't know most, but they like to seal themselves from reality. Just imagine this, but of course it's not real. And then they come back to reality and they're here. They haven't even started to grow branches. They don't want to accept that someone else is living like this on Instagram, YouTube, on movies, and they scream at these walls, why are you here? Why isn't life this easy? This is what I have been doing. So I have figured out that what I want to do, inner feelings, what is my meaning, that I want to create, is this. Well, does this vision, is it like this? But okay, I know what to do, then I just do it. That I'm already here. No. In that vision, I'm at this position. Without that vision, if I wanted to live life, or normal life, that many people want, most people want, probably, just getting a job, getting a family and place to live and hobbies, go to vacations and so on, then I would be at this I was at this state already when I didn't have this goal, life work goal. But then I ended up here, and even though I don't have a strong urge, need to help, it's still strong enough that I have decided that okay, I'm not going to accept this because I'm aware of what I could do instead. So I have chosen to go into this situation, like being a millionaire and giving out all money and moving out to a different country without any support net. I have decided to live a more difficult life just because the return is much greater. But I have been in a journey of developing myself to be able to fulfill my meaning. Creating meaning. This is the point. It's a bad line. It's better. And during the last few days, or no, during the last month or two, I have tried to develop myself almost daily. And how it is that, let's say, let's use the same logic here. So similar situation. I'm here. This is my life. My life. Life is here. Everything is connected. Okay, nice. But my goal is here. How do I get here? If I try to move my life towards that, this will resist. Doesn't want to just break. This will resist. These will resist as well. Oh, maybe in this, maybe in this example, these don't resist, but these do resist. And I have to have a certain amount of connections. I can't just not do anything, or if I have spent 10 hours in a day for entertainment, and suddenly I decided to start working for 5 hours and stop entertainment completely. What would I do with that five hours? So this is difficult because I need to, as I move. Oh, did I create two? What? As I move, I need to somehow figure this out, that how to keep these connections. This will reach maybe just barely, and this will reach. But in order to do this change, quite small change, I need to break this. But I can't just lose this connection. No. What I need to do is connect that to something new here. And this is the thing. It's not just this that I'm already connected to, that are possible connections. There are a lot more. Some people might be here, they have these connections. Some people are here, they have these connections. Everyone do have different connections. They are somewhere else. They have different setup. So this could be my brain. These could be the genes. Everyone has different set of genes or qualities, brain chemistry. So everyone has different map, but the same idea, and they might be similar connections to we think the same on this, but that other matter, no, we have different experiences. But the point is that these are very difficult to break, to suddenly change to someplace else. And one example I kind of imagined myself is that how it feels nowadays is that I'm trying to move that way, and I have these connections and I'm really pushing. But not only do I push that way, maybe I do just a tiny change, very tiny change. But these are stressed when I do this. And these are kind of I'm trying to pull myself forward, but these will break. But what I do is I kind of force myself. Let's say there is some metal plate. So I push myself. These are almost breaking, but not quite. And then I lock myself here. And then I try to think, hey, am I relaxed in this state? No, I'm not relaxed, because I do feel this, but I'm able to kind of force myself here with this. So what I do is I go into the new state. Maybe I do something new that I subconsciously am fighting against. And then I try to relax here, this new state, and break these. Because these are the only ones which are holding me back. So I break them, and then when I'm really stable at this place, I go one step further, again and again and again. And it feels that every day, or kind of constantly, I am pushing myself forward. And yeah, I do ask myself many times whether this life is what I want, but I don't have any other choice. It's quite late already. I was planning on doing some of these. Okay. What is the most important one? This I already did today, understanding the world. I'm trying to think of a term. Well, I talked about philosophy with someone, and they said that they have read Karl Pop something, but some philosopher and I'm starting to read that, but not at this session. This I already did, kind of social media. Yes. News, just a tiny bit, but this I want to advance, but because it's already initialized, I'm not gonna focus on that. Reading fiction must be over half a year when I last time read properly, but the plan is to do this today before I go to sleep. That would be at least one new thing. And that was the other one. Social media, yes. Communication skills, applying to jobs, effective teaching, marketing skills. Communication skills. I am communicating now in English, but am I improving? No, not really. So let's focus on this. I think the app is over. Skills and knowledge. Improving communication. I could have added skills there, but I have English vocabulary here. That's a good start. But oh, nice! I have initialized this. Didn't even remember. Spin this so I don't add that. I need all these politics notes. Why is this pinned? To do. Ah, okay. I've completely forgotten this. Too long list. I don't want. Do I have on communication? Fluency, word. Okay, research ways to improve communication. That's kind of good plan. So let's see, verbal. Think of word concept, then start talking about it and don't stop. Move from thought to thought. The aim is to improvise and not lose flow. Yes, that's quite good. Eye contact. My whole life I have avoided. Yes, reason. Okay, when I talk, I become blind. It's not only about eye contact, but also not changing the focus point. Don't remember seeing expressions, what clothes people wore. Shows confidence, definitely. Task, plan, get to the feeling of not being able to think. Focus on one point and don't look away from it. The camera, for example. Would I want to look into someone's eyes? Yes, so because I think autistically, I need to have a reason for this. When I look at someone's eyes, I automatically look away, or it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel right. Why is that? I'm going to go to a concert. I have so many. What? Raw fiction. Going to go to a concert to see Artemis in next week, hopefully. Let's use her. I just needed one image. I think she will be my bias. but I haven't been able to find good videos that would, yeah, I'm very, it's unclear who would be my bias from Artemis, but let's use her as an example. So eye contact. What do I feel? One image is not enough. See, DuckDuckGo. Does it have images? No? What? Okay, better. Hasul. Reddit. Can I increase this? Not that much. Instagram. Okay. The point was that if I try to get into the feeling, it feels that there are other, or the image changes, kind of resets it a little bit. Otherwise, I might lose the focus that there's a person there. Okay. So looking people into their eyes. First feeling is, of course, to not look. And it sort of freezes my thinking. I automatically go into defensive mode. Why? What's the point? Is it about insecurities? And that would be kind of logical, considering my life. I have avoided thinking and creating my own life. And it's a very, very strong habit. If I have a hard time remembering the times when I have actually looked into someone's eyes while I talk. I do look when I listen, but that's not the same. But I would say it's over 90% or 95% defensive. That when I look at someone, I'm thinking about myself, being aware of myself. How much curiosity is there for the other one? Am I too much of a robot? It is interesting that I care about people, but then can't look into their eyes. Some other image. Is there horizontal? This is horizontal. This is fine. And of course, yeah, I could have done this. Okay. Yeah, again, I went into the blank mode, not think anything. Yeah, what are the questions? I freeze. Freeze up. Maybe I shouldn't have chosen beautiful woman, but okay. Shouldn't matter that much. Before Wednesday, when the concert is, I want to be able to recognize them well there. I'm trying to quickly find my bias and get to know them, because it elevates the whole experience. I was at their concert 2024 and I didn't recognize them. The concert wasn't that great for me because of it. So this time I'm not going to make the same mistake, but I should have started this earlier to get to know them. Okay. It's interesting how I don't remember kind of managing this problem before. 4 years ago, I did some exercises when I tried to be able to talk and think while I look at someone, but clearly it didn't do that a lot or enough. But yeah, looking at someone's eyes, I don't know what to do. What is the point? Or I kind of lose my, or it asks a question of what am I even trying to achieve? So I feel unprepared. For normal people, it's just so natural for them. They have never thought about it, probably. But yeah. Connection. Well, yes, that is. That is one major thing, that when I look at someone, and they look at me, I go into the ghost mode. That I wonder if they can see me. It doesn't feel right, normal, that they can see me. And instead I kind of create this interaction. Actually, not this interaction. I was gonna say I will create this scenario that I'm inside my mind, but no, I often just focus on the conversation itself, how it's going, plan the plot, side story, so on. And I live here, or I have lived a lot. And that's why when I try to remember, time goes on, they go home, I go here, and then I try to remember how was the conversation, how was the event. I'm thinking of this and not this. This I can visualize how it was. I can realize that I was just focusing on this, but this is the main thing. I live inside my mind, inside my head. So this immediately kind of raises the question, what am I trying to accomplish here by looking into someone's eyes? Because I can't see through them. What am I trying to see? Their eye color? Because the information that I'm kind of naturally interested is logic. It's the meaning of what they say, not how they say it. That's why it has never mattered that much that I look at them when I talk. When I talk, I'm thinking of this. I'm creating some new idea, and then I look at someplace else. And then when they talk, yes, I can look at them, receive this way. But yeah, I'm focused on this, and this just naturally doesn't bring any benefit. What am I benefiting by looking someone into their eyes while I talk, or at least in their direction? I would look here. I would look here naturally. Looking someone in their eyes. And this is also, I have noticed lately, that when I go into some new place, let's say today I used the tram. These are the doors. They open, I come in, I'm here. And let's say there are people sitting here, standing there. And then there is the machine here. I go to this place and then might go here. what do I look? Of course, this is from top down. What do I look when I walk into the tram? People are sitting. I might look here or directly here. I'm looking at the floor. And then when I'm here, I might go here without recognizing any of these. There might be one of my friends here that I'm not going to notice. But then when I go here to sit, I will, of course, I will take a look around and I might recognize them. And probably if I look here, I might see them. But often it might be that I'm looking only at someone, and these three will completely, I'm gonna ignore. And this is tram example, but also if this was normal door, there was someone here, I'm looking at the floor. The first thing I look at is the door, floor. Is the way I'm gonna go, and not the person. So that's something I want to change. Haven't gone that deep why, but that's kind of clear to look who are here, to see them. Many years ago, I was more anxious in public. I would go here, and then be scared to look around because I might have thought that it is too late, or now I should have looked sooner, and that pressure builds up. I don't know, but yeah, the benefits. Can I see, or what would I say is the biggest benefit? What do I like about the idea of talking to someone and looking into their eyes while doing so? When I have a conversation, let's say, I know this is going over time, usual. When I have a conversation, let's say they say something, and then I reply. I reply with some response. When this happens, they might look at me when they talk. Then when I talk, I look somewhere else and I say this. What am I concentrating here? What is the target? Target is not to get the message to them, but rather the target is to finish this conversation. They started with something, and my aim is to match that, say something that fits into this situation. And I'm thinking about this only, while they are trying to get the message. They look at me, they're trying to say something to me, and they use their mouth, and they say it out loud. But the message was always aimed at me, while I look at this, I hear this, while I think about this, while I look someplace else, and then my mind is here. I try to match that, ask a question, but how much do I think that I want to give them some information or my answer to them? How much do I think about them in this situation? Very little. So what is the what am I trying to do? So I'm trying to create logical reasons why I would want to do that, because at this situation, my mind is trying to restrict me from looking into someone's eyes, because subconsciously I don't have a feeling that I want this. If I ask myself, can I come up with 5 good reasons to look at someone's eyes when I tell them something? My mind doesn't give any answer. Maybe something is, okay, I want to have a good connection with them. Personal connection, human connection. But that would be a lie, because my subconsciousness disagrees. If I think from the viewpoint of manipulation, if I wanted for some reason to manipulate or to intimidate, I have a goal there. I can understand that. I don't think I have never looked into someone's eyes trying to manipulate them or make the scene more intense. I don't think so. I always falter and look away. But that would be a reason. But because I don't have those intentions, that's not suitable for me. So what are the logical reasons? Just looking at their eyes, that's art. That can be art. But that's a very bad reason, but it's something at least. What else? Do I respect? That's something I need to think about a little more. My respect for others. Don't I respect them as humans, as my equals, as my friends, family? How much do I respect them? I do respect them, but my respect doesn't require eye contact. I respect through my other actions. Okay, what else? How is this? How is it so foreign? How is this so foreign idea? That it would change the interaction completely. Not well, maybe not completely, because I do know that many people are similar. When they try to think of something that they can't just answer, they do look away, and then they start to say it, and at this point they say the last part while looking at. So I do that also a little bit when I look someplace, and then I switch back in the final moment, saying the last thing. But logical reasons. New, okay, that could be one that I approve, which is let's put that into parentheses. New life experience. Just because of that, I kind of like it. That because others do it, I want to see if I get something out of that experience. I have lived certain way my whole life. Why wouldn't I change for the other half? Why do I look away? How much is it just insecurities, not knowing myself? Because often it's with authorities, it's difficult. It might be difficult. But with younger people, it's easier if you have authority to look into someone's eyes. Children are easy, animals, of course. But with authority and with poor or poor self-esteem, with insecurities, even normal people or most people could be intimidating naturally. So it's a test of do I know who I am? Is there something else? Is there a limit? Can I become very good and natural at looking into people's eyes? Because I follow logic. If it's logical that I should look into people's eyes while I talk, I will try to change myself to match that. Reading people. I'm not good at this, but if I want to become better, more relaxed in social settings, if I want to influence events and inspire people, being able to read the room, others' feelings, is super important. Also, easier to approach. If I look away, I'm fully defensive. I don't give much to them. I signal that maybe I don't like them. So this changes or influences the social experiences that I could have. Is there anything more to this? Change the picture one last time. Can I see it from different angle? I guess this is her better side. It's an odd angle. This as well. I guess this is fine. Okay. Last image. Yeah, what's past? I know what I can reach already, and I'm talking about my terms of reaching. That this I do know already, but is there something I'm not aware of that I want to reach? Is there anything else that being able to keep eye contact brings. If I think about this and feeling depressive at times, I have those moments when I even doubt that I would be interested in people for the rest of my life. Maybe it's because I'm too much, I have an experience of this. It needs to make sense, it needs to be interesting. But what if this brings new experience and stronger social experience? That it's a source of enjoyment, sort of, that I haven't used before. If I keep looking at someone's eyes, I do want to look away, but why? Why is that? The habit, yes, but anything else? Yeah, tilting my head, I don't like this. Time is running. It's fine. It is fine. One last image. Come on. Maybe without so tilted head. Did I have this already? I think so. Okay. I do use my eyes to think, to kind of keep the tempo somewhat. Is that the only reason why I would look away? Social cue that it's socially normal to look to only some amount, but that logic doesn't apply to me because I'm already fine breaking norms. So why wouldn't I in this case as well? And I think it's okay to experience too much eye contact to make someone else a bit uncomfortable, and noticing that, and then I can come back to get the balance. So I shouldn't worry that I'm too intense if I don't see that signal from the other one. Do I think everyone is smarter or better than me? I think subconsciously, yes, because I have never changed that. I have thought that for my whole life, pretty much. But of course, I have figured out myself and this reality, and I know something that many don't, or I think differently, and I am not considering myself below others nor above. But still, on this case, I do feel that it's still in the old ways. My subconsciousness hasn't changed on its own. So changing how I see others and how I think they see me. I get very strong metal door keeping me away from uncovering this. That's a feeling that my mind says that it's not possible to fix this. It tries to bluff. Let's see if I can break it, then end this stream. Of course, this is an image. The more I look at it, the less human it feels. Yeah, I think I need to end this session. Did I get anywhere? Easier to approach. So eye contact is one area, and then the other one is this. Wait, no. What am I? Task plan. Chinese, okay. This is one option. This is one option. This I could do as well. As I said, that's one reason why I move away from looking at someone, is just to look or keep my eyes moving, because even though I'm not looking at anyone, I still switch my focus. But verbal, I will add here learn to pronounce difficult sentences. Acting lesson. So doing some acting lessons or warm up. I could benefit from, and then learn new grammar, not grammar actually, learn new vocabulary and use them in sentences. That I have already started. And then learn what? Grammarly. Isn't it that? Grammarly. Grammar. Okay. Learn grammar. I don't know in many cases whether to use on, at, in, by, off, about. Very bad at that. Before I end this, I think I want to, for some reason, to extend this a little bit by going to app data, roaming. So last time I tried to find the YouTube enhancer for YouTube, and I couldn't find it because it has been removed. I don't think it was this, was it? No. It was removed, but I do have that on my other Firefox. And I can copy paste, I think. So this is Firefox default release. Pretty sure it's this. These are extension store. Is this correct? Do I have 4 extensions? 1, 2, no 4. Okay, then it's right, correct. Let me go here, one end of stream. Here. So Control C. Is that the right way? Maybe it's the wrong place. I might need to restart this. Now it's enabled. No, it's no, yes. So that means I can take that away. Let's see. That should bring 3 rows, but then I can pin this toolbar and change the settings like I'm used to. Dark theme is fine. 720. This for stream, this is good enough quality. Usually I place it at 4K. Default, override default, and use that. Control, that's fine. Volume, I don't change. Disable, not needed. That's fine. Hide. Wait, what? Wasn't there? I think I remember having more settings. Hi chat. The mode. Okay. Why do I remember being able to change the rows? Apparently not. Okay, but did I move this? No. Okay. Then I guess I have to use that. But now if I wanted to click
such a long time,
some video, I have this. Yeah. Oh well, I thought it would work just with this. To check this on my main profile. Boost the volume. Yeah, it's not here. Oh well. Let me random yapping, not just random, doing some. So it was talking about no mean death, feelings. What else did I do? It was communication. Difficulty of change, and then improve communication. Going through tasks for this session. And that's it. Stop streaming.